And welcome back. So glad that I can make your acquaintance once more. Of course, we have the overall legendary mother, my mother, sitting in with us here today for a table read. And really, time is crunched right now because she just stopped in. She was doing her errands, ripping and running, and she was in the area, so she stopped in, which I always appreciate. But now, I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down. One of the kitties, calm down, because, girl, you know I ain't playing with you. Let's go.
Kappa?
Yeah, thank you.
Kappa? Come on.
Because now she knows better than that, but what she figured was, oh, they're on camera, they're working now, he eats them cut up. Okay.
She feel like she can get away with it.
Yeah, so anyway, we were just talking about the project for Mother Pat, and I was running some of my ideas past her, and what we were just talking about was really just, and I think you would agree with this, is really, present yourself the way you want the world to see you.
Absolutely.
You agree with that?
Absolutely.
And that's kind of, as an artist, in my mind, that's the part that has been the hardest thing for me. Because for me, it almost feels like, okay, but are you trying to manipulate people into... But it's not so much about a manipulation. That's anything. If you were going into a job interview, you would walk into it confident. Right. And you would walk in there dressed the way you want them to see you.
Right. You have to claim it.
You have to claim it?
You have
Okay.
to claim it, and you go in there with the attitude, that job is mine.
It's mine.
Right.
And what makes it yours is your attitude, your conviction, your presentation.
Your confidence.
So let's just say, okay, so you're going in for an interview, but when you go up in there, you're going up in there with shredded jeans, a tank top, spaghetti strap flip-flops. Like, that's not how you present yourself
Absolutely
at
not.
an interview.
No.
And I mean, granted,
And first impressions make a lasting statement about you.
That's true.
When people see you and they see, when you're going for an interview and you're going dressed inappropriately, it's like you don't really care.
I agree. And you know what? To be fair, I'll say this. In an interview situation, depending on what the field is, that will change. So entertainment, you may not have to come in with a suit and tie.
Right.
But the point is, you dress for what it is you're trying to accomplish. Right. And so what I realized really is that, and I talked about this in a previous video. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to release that video just because I don't know. But the point is, I talked about it where in my mind it's like, I have to understand that as an artist, if I want to get my art out, first I have to get it out. Like I have to, because my thing is, it's like, well, but I want people to appreciate the art and I want them to appreciate the music. But the reality is, okay, the only way they'll appreciate it is if they know it exists.
Right.
So you have to first do things that will pull their eye, so that you're even on their radar, and then they'll get into everything you want them to get into. But first you have to provide a vehicle so that they can actually arrive on the scene to get into what you're serving them.
And see, here's the thing that I think you have to really appreciate what it is.
I agree.
See, here's the thing: you're not gonna please everybody, but you have to please yourself. You please yourself. You do stuff that you really like and enjoy, and then those people who gravitate towards it will gravitate towards it. But you got to be consistent with kind of getting it out.
I agree. And well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so, I mean, I'm really glad that you're doing some music now, because that's, to me, a strength that you've always had.
Yeah.
And you really, I mean, I know that you're a wonderful storyteller, and you always have been that way. But, I mean, I feel that you are multi-talented, multifaceted.
Thank you.
You remember I had compared you to a Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, that's always been your feeling. But you know what's so funny, Mommy? It's okay, so for me, so here's my thing. And you've been very instrumental in helping me come out of this phase, and that's why it's so funny to me. Oh, that's your phone. That's why it's so funny to me when I think about life. And when I was, say, 24, 20 even, my perspective and the way I view the world and life and my life has changed astronomically. There's some things where I still feel the same way, but just the way I process information and how I understand things to be has totally changed. And one thing that you used to tell me right from the beginning was, you have to see it for yourself. First, you have to see it. And stop looking for everybody else to see it first before you actually are successful. And that's what helped me realize, you know what? Why am I waiting for, like, in my mind, I was kind of waiting for something to blow up. Then once it blows up, then I'll start doing the photos and How about you do the photos first? And be that way already. And then when it blows up, you'll already be like, primed to be that way.
And then that may be the thing that help it to blow up.
I agree.
Right.
I agree 100%. Like, I literally, in the video that I don't think I'm going to upload, I literally said that. Like, I'm like, why wait? Because to me, my thing is, set yourself up. But see, where I am now is, I realize that. Now it's like, okay, I know if I'm successful, that means that people will know me. I will be taking these type of photos anyway. You know, my mother loves Patti LaBelle, right?
Oh, love her.
And both you and my sister have, y'all, she makes it feel so personal, this, that, and the four, da-da-da. She has said that she cried at the concert. And so, for me, it's like, okay, Patti LaBelle, that just goes to show you on every level. And not this isn't a bad thing, but I'm just saying, a part of what I'm realizing too, a part of the artistry is being able, when you watch a movie, is it real? It's a fantasy.
Right.
Now, the actors take their job seriously. The singer, Patti, everyone takes what they do seriously. But do you think Patti is dressing like that every day in her everyday life? When she comes to do a performance, do you think she's showing up in her kitchen in the morning for breakfast with full face of makeup, a 30-pound wig, and all this outfit? That's what she gives for her show, because it's a part of the fantasy. You come, the lights, it's an atmosphere. So in my mind, I'm realizing that it's not wrong to set the tone and to set the atmosphere. I want you to see me as an artist, because that's where we're going with this. And this is about to take off. So I need to show you that I believe that by showing you what it would look like if I already took off. I am now realizing this is how, if I did this, because when I go to my own Instagram, like, let me just pull that back up. When I go to my own Instagram, like, I feel like I'm not an ugly person.
Oh,
like,
absolutely not.
When I want to, like, do it up, I can do it up. And so this is just a camera phone picture with a simple filter on it. So I'm thinking, if he and his expertise got a hold of me, I feel like I can't wait to, and I feel like that needs to be the majority of my pictures. I feel like, just like how Beyonce did it, let me pepper in some real pictures too. But I think overall, it need to be like editorial, model-esque. It needs to be that way, because that's what's going to make people be like, what is he doing? Why is he doing all these photos? Is he about to do something that we don't know about? Like, that's what's going to get people curious and making them want to follow the storyline.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm realizing that it's more than just being an artist. It's not just about, oh, I sing, I rap. No, because guess what? Other people do that too. It's about capturing the hearts and minds of your audience, or the people that you would like to be in the presence of, and showing them that you are worthy. Like, I am.
And it's just kind of developing your brand.
Developing the brand. So it's all happening. And my supporters, they love the song. And why I love them so much is because, Mommy, you should see how they are. They're like, they're so excited. Like, they're ready to see me win.
Yes.
They are. And it's like, to have you in my corner, to have them in my corner, it's like, and it's so genuine. Like, they're not just gassing me up. Like, they're like, legit, we're ready for this. And every month they return to see me do it. So that's why it's kind of like, okay, it's time for me to take this serious
to the next level.
And it's time for me to take it. It's scary, Mommy. You wanna know what though? It's kind of scary though, because it's like, in my mind, I envision what being famous would be like. And to a certain extent, I know on a very low scale, since I have some level of notoriety. But it is still scary, because my life will be different. It will be different. And you used to ask me, are you ready? Are you ready for this? I believe I think with people like you in my corner who will be honest with me.
Your foundation is fundamentally sound. You know, you've seen a lot of people who have blown up real big and it got to their head and they went off the deep end. And I know that you don't want to become a victim of all of that. Yeah,
and not only just that, but I mean, you talking about blowing up real big. I'm even talking about on my level. Like, I've seen people, talent come on. They go from no people who know them to all of a sudden they have 10,000 people who know them. And then all of a sudden they come on and it's like their whole attitude has changed. Now, I feel, like you said, fundamentally, I'm starting off in the right area, because that has never appealed to me anyway. To be like, oh, people know me now. Oh, I was on TV. Oh, I did this. So now I can talk down to you, because that's never been appealing to me anyway. So my prayer is that when I do blow up, quote unquote, that I maintain that. I don't want to be impressed with because there are people who feel good when they can do that to people. Like I was saying on one of my recent
but that is fundamentally who they are.
True.
You know,
yeah. Well,
you know,
I see what
some
you're saying.
people say money is the root of all evil, but money isn't. I mean, money is just money. It's just a tool.
Okay.
And money helps you to be more of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a jerk,
then
it helps
you really can be one.
You can easily be a jerk now.
Because now you have the money to back it up.
Right.
It's like you're hiring people. You can talk. You have subordinates. Right. So now you can actually talk down to people because I'm cutting the checks, and so I can do this. Whereas from your logic, what you're saying is if you're a graceful person with grace and some humility, now you have the money and you're going to be more of that because you can be more of that. I see what you're saying, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, it is what it is, but it's so disappointing when you see people who have potential. They come on, and then all of a sudden it's like, who do you think you are? I mean, you ain't even been doing it that long. You don't even have the biggest base. I'm not trying to make it seem like I have the biggest, but I also don't go around making it seem like everyone should kiss the ring and all this other stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm a talent. There's other talent, but at the same time, my thing is be humble about it, because they love you one day, they don't love you the next. And if you wrap everything into what people think about you, and that's where you get your life from, like that's the grand prize for you.
That's a serious flaw, though.
That's a huge flaw, because what happens when they turn and it's like, you used to be good, we used to like you, but now we don't. That it's going to send you into a spiral, because that's your whole identity. Right. So one of my college professors, and this is one thing she said a lot, but I wasn't her biggest fan, but this is one thing she said that resonated with me, that stuck with me. Mm-hmm. She said, you never want to believe your own press clippings. Mm-hmm. I don't care what it is, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. Because
sound advice.
Yeah. Because she said, because they can love you today and gas you up and build you into a star today. Mm-hmm. And on that very next day or next month or next year, all of a sudden now the cards are stacked against you. Oh, yeah, she used to be good, but now she ain't. That's not the fourth. And if you were, when they loved you, if you were like all up in that, and don't get me wrong, you can receive a compliment and you can appreciate it in the moment. You get a Grammy, you win an award, whatever. You can receive that, and I'm not telling you not to receive it. But what I'm saying is just know that they're the bigger, and also too, and I always give this example, and then we can wrap it, because I know there's a lot going on today, and I really just wanted, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. You were here. What it was is she was running her errands, like I said early on, and so she was in the area, she dropped in, and anytime she's in my presence, not all the time, because sometimes I just want to have our moment. Yeah. But I figure, it's been a minute, you're here, why not serve a quick plate to the children so that they can, because they enjoy seeing you too. And
I enjoy too.
Yeah, and I just feel like for them to see the woman that really helped me develop into the man that I am today, I just think that's cool. And I think they appreciate it. So anytime I can bring you on, I want to bring you on. But I was telling them, and you tell me what you think about this. And I think I told them, maybe I didn't, but I'll say it now. But my feeling is this. There's The Sims, the game.
Okay.
And
they still have that?
They sure do. I do that as one of my things, one of my gameplays. And you know what? I will say they've made a lot of upgrades. It's a fun game. I enjoy it. And they enjoy watching it.
And you've always enjoyed that
That's game. True. I have always enjoyed the game. But here's the thing about that game, though, Mommy. That game, to me, is indicative of real life. Oh, really? And I'm going to tell you how. Because when you play that game, the whole point is to watch the character grow. Oh, okay. It's to watch you start the game. Let's just say you get to pick a job. So they've changed the process in which you get the job. But the point is, the principle is still at its core the same thing. Mm-hmm. So let's just say you decide, okay, I want to do entertainment, or I want to be a doctor, whatever. Mm-hmm. So when you go into that field, they don't start you as a doctor. Mm-hmm. They start you as like a janitor at the hospital. Right. And then you continue working, and then you get promoted into the manager of the janitors. And then then it advances into...
Now what about going to the school?
Well, that's true, but that's what I'm saying. But I mean, and you're right about that, but that's totally true.
I don't want a doctor
who's a janitor. I agree. Although you go to some places in the world and...
it's like, oh my gosh, what's your criteria? I've been
sweeping for 15 years, mopping for 30, But my point is, the point of the game is to watch them grow, and not just in their career, but in their life, socially, personal. Because what happens is you start off with a small budget. Maybe they start you at $8,000. Right. And with the $8,000, you get to build a small little house. It's like a little hut. I mean, whatever it is, and you have a bed, a fridge, basic. And then as you get your money, it's like the excitement of, oh, now I can get a new fridge. I can afford the new fridge. I can do this. And there's some excitement behind it because you had to work for it. Right. Additionally, I feel like when you get it all, there's cheat codes to where you can get all the money and you don't have to work.
Oh.
When you do that, the game is so boring when you do that.
Right.
Because now you have everything overnight. You don't have to work. You can just stay home. That removes...
And that actually, that's kind of indicative of how real life is.
That's what I'm saying, right.
When people are just handed things.
They don't appreciate that. Why?
And they don't appreciate it. And then usually it really won't last. When you haven't put anything into it to acquire it, you don't really see the value of what it took to get it.
And number one, and then number two, just think, okay, so you're a trust fund baby or you're an heiress or whatever. You're always around money. Okay, you had a car, you wrecked it, so I'll just get another one.
Right.
You don't care. Like, it's like you don't care. I saw a documentary with Michael Jackson, and he was in the mall. I want this vase, I want that vase. The one vase was $500,000. You want two? That's $1 million for two vases?
Oh my God.
That's like a person who just has money to burn who don't care.
Right.
Because now you're just trying to find... It's like you're chasing the adrenaline rush, because it's almost like... But when you were poor, you were almost happier when you had less money, because when you got something, it felt like you... Like, oh my God, like, I got my car, I can't believe I got my car.
Yeah.
Like, you're excited about that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, okay, Mayweather, the boxer, he turned up, and every time it's like he be grossing me out because he turned up, and I remember I saw something where he had like a $2 million watch. Who... All this stuff, I'm not, and to be fair, I'm not saying that he shouldn't treat himself just because there's other people who have less. I'm not saying that. Because I do think you should reward yourself and you should treat yourself when you've worked for it.
Right.
But Mayweather, $2 million for a watch? Don't you think you could have got a nice watch for like $5,000? Don't even that is high end, but I'm just saying $1 million, $2 million. What do it do? Oh, you press a button, it turns to a car.
I don't know, because
it turns to a house. Like what? That's you're wearing a house on your arm.
What do you do? I mean, what does a watch do to make it cost that kind of
money? Well, it had diamonds in it and stuff like that. But my point is, ain't no watch to me worth $2 million. But my point is, when you're worth, I don't know what his net worth is, but let's just say when you're like Oprah rich, it's relative. Like, okay, yeah, maybe $2 million is a lot for you, but when you have $3 billion to your name, girl, this is like a Christmas present for me.
Right, yeah.
It's not really a big deal,
$2 million is my whole worth or less. I have less than that.
But do you see what I'm saying? So my point is so here's my thing. For me, I've always said, so when I get to that point, number one, I want to even then put myself on a budget. But then number two, charity. Right. Making it about somebody outside of myself. Because with me, there's like, it's not infinite. Like, there's only so many shoes you can buy. There's only so many things that you can buy that you want. So then you do that and you're bored.
And actually, here's the thing that I know for sure. Just doing for yourself doesn't really make you happy. But when you take and the things that you've been blessed with and you're doing for others, that's really where you get the joy from.
I agree. And you know what? When I think about universe willing, what I'm going to be able to do for you, what I think about what I'm going to be able to do for the world, like the people in the world, because I'm very passionate about that too. And I've been for the longest time. Last month I was supposed to be donating $150 on behalf of myself and my supporters on this platform, and it's just. My main thing is the money needs to go to a charity where the money goes to the charity, not to the people at the top.
Right.
I hate when, it's a charity, but they're doing galas for $500,000 for a gala, and you raise $30,000. Right. You spent more to do the event than you actually raised. It's silly to me. But my point is, I wanted the money to go to the charity. Right. So there was a thing where a dog was having a surgery. And it had to have its arm amputated because it was broke. Yeah, it was, but with dogs, it was young too. So with dogs, they are resilient. They'll bounce back. They'll move forward. But the point is, they needed, I think, maybe $500. So maybe they had already raised 200 and some odd change. I can't remember the exact number. But the point was, I was telling my partner, I'm like, okay, that would be a good thing. Because someone had said, maybe you should do something in memory of Tamaya. Maybe you should be an animal.
That would be really nice.
That's what I thought. I'm like, that's a good idea. Like, but see, that's why I love them. Because they are like in alignment with me. Like, they get where I'm going. Right. But the point was, they were like, well, why don't you put the money towards something that's animal related in memory of Tamaya.
Right.
And so I thought that was great. And so when my partner had mentioned it to me, I thought tell her
that would be a good purpose.
But the only thing I needed though, mommy, and you tell me if I'm wrong for saying this, I told him, I said, but I have to have a receipt. Only so that I can present it to my boys and girls so that they know where the money went.
Okay.
I think that's important. They're not asking me for that. that's just something that I would like to show them, just so that they know where it went.
Now, was it on a GoFundMe?
It was on, I think they were promoting it on Facebook.
Oh, okay, because I was going to
That's what I'm saying. Because GoFundMe, we could have some type of paper trail.
Right. If you do GoFundMe.
I don't think it was a GoFundMe.
If it was a GoFundMe, when you do, like, because I just donated, remember the masjid, Umul's masjid?
Okay.
The imam, he had a heart attack.
Oh, bismillah. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay.
But they, he wasn't going to be able to work and so forth and so on.
So I did like a GoFundMe to make sure he was okay.
And so I did I donated towards his GoFundMe. So, you get a receipt for that.
And that was kind of, and you know what, speaking of that, so let me tell you what happened the other day. And then we're going to wrap up. I keep saying that, but you know how we do. But now y'all see where I get it from.
We done stopped how many times?
Yeah. Oh, okay, we're about to wrap it up. Let me tell you what happened the other day. So we had gone to the gas station, right?
Okay.
Now, I feel like I get my charitable side from you.
Okay.
And so, I like to have cash in my wallet just in case an emergency happens.
Right.
And so, but what ends up happening is, as I'm going about my life, I'll see a homeless person, I give $1 here, $1 there. Then, time for the valet, it's like, girl, I got no change. But, so on this day, actually...
you got to make sure you leave money for the valet.
Well, but what it is I just get so used to seeing a person. Mm-hmm. And here's the reason why. When I realized how the world could be when I was like 16, 17, when I was stranded during Gay Pride that night. I remember in my mind, I was still a kid. I mean, I was like 16 or 17, but the world saw me as an adult. And even though I was like lost and like not knowing how I was going to get home, do you think anybody pulled over to say, "Are you okay?"
So now where was that? This was in
Midtown. I had gotten, remember that time the girl that I went to see, no one ain't gonna know her. There's a million Karens. This girl named Karen. Remember, you dropped me off to her birthday that one time when I was going to Druid Hills.
Is she the one who lived off of?
She lived off of
off of Oak View or whatever.
Something. I know where you. Yeah, her.
She's the one whose mother.
I have to. I don't know. What do you think?
Her mother
was a hot mess.
No, her mother wasn't a hot mess. She really liked you.
Oh, she did really like me.
Her mother liked you, and
I'm pretty good with the parents in general.
Right.
But yeah, that's her. What it was is I got stranded. I had to catch the train because the buses had stopped running. The train goes longer than the buses, so I caught the train. Just missed the last bus, the bus that runs on the street that I can walk home on that street. So what it was is I had to catch from Decatur Station. I had to walk to her house.
Oh, wow.
In the dark.
Ooh, that was a long walk.
It was a long walk, and it was a scary walk because a tree had fallen, and it was like...
And Atlanta has the worst lighting. That reminds me when we were...
got stranded that one time.
When we were going to Jersey.
And got the tire blew up.
Right.
Oh, that was so scary.
And the park, the hotel...
I don't know how you... Oh, my God, it was all like run down.
No, the hotel was filled up.
But it looked a hot mess anyway.
And then we had gone to,
the fire department?
Right. We were walking to other places.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
And then we had gone to some hall where they were supposed to have, and that was a hot mess.
That's what I was thinking, what she was talking about. I thought you were talking about, but
then we went to the fire department.
And they ended up just bringing us all the way back.
And they brought us back to the car. We ended up sleeping in the car.
I don't know how you did that because we were all kids, and that was so scary. Were you not scared? That was scary. I said,
well, just think you're going to have a wonderful tale to tell your friends.
And you're right. Maybe one day I'm going to tell that story if I haven't already told it. I totally forgot about that. But the point was, so why I went into that whole thing was to say this. I remember when that night thinking, I wish somebody would just, if there were a nice person and just, at least just ask, am I okay? Because I clearly was looking dazed and confused.
Did you ask anyone?
Well, I didn't because I felt it and that's my fault. I didn't ask anyone. Yeah, but that's because I know how people are. I mean, just look at how they do homeless people. Like, I wasn't homeless, but I was in need at that moment. Right. And my thing is, if a homeless person who was in need for real, if you are like, get away from me with that, they actually really need the help. You don't give them the help, so why would you give it to me? So I still could have asked, but in my mind, I was just like, I wish somebody would just say, are you okay? You need help? So when I see that, I do it is because I remember me that day in particular, or even that day. Remember when I went to the homeless shelter and you told me
when you were in
Kentucky? Because what it was is I was just gonna be on the street that night, and you said no. I'll get the ticket, go to the shelter tonight, call the police, have them take you to the shelter tonight, and I'll get your ticket. And that's what you did. The next day, I got my ticket and I left. But it's moments like that where you start to feel like you never know how your life will turn out. So I never want it to be a moment where I'm thinking, oh girl, get away. Like, no. But let me say what.
That's funny. I had gone, to the Dollar Tree. And I was coming out the Dollar Tree. And I found $1. I was like, oh, $1.
Oh, that was nice.
And you know how I do.
Oh,
find
a penny.
Pick it up and all day long. I say, I'm a money magnet. Thank you.
A penny. So $1, I mean, she won the lottery.
Right. So
that's why she's always getting money, because she's so grateful for any amount, to the point to where the universe is like, okay, she's grateful. Let's go ahead on and continue to adorn her. But I digress. Go ahead.
Okay. So I picked it up, and then it was a homeless person that says, oh, ma'am, can you spare $1? So I was like, here it is. It came to me.
That's where I get it from. But on a serious note, this is the first time she told me that one. That's where I get it from. Because let me tell you what happened. We had just left the Dollar Tree, I think. That's so crazy, because I did a Dollar Tree haul. That's my next. This video, what I'm showing you this image from, is from the Dollar Tree haul that I did.
Okay.
And I think we were leaving the Dollar Tree. That's so random, right? So we had left the Dollar Tree, and we were leaving the Dollar Tree. We pulled up to QT, the gas station, and there was a homeless person there, and everybody was walking past him. And so I was like, okay, I know I got some change up in here. And I heard him saying, he was like, excuse me. And he seemed like a gay queen. And he was just like, excuse me, does anybody got $5 so I can give me something to eat? And in my mind, I'm thinking, girl, you got a gas station. You can get something for 99 cents. Stop tripping. Because now you being specific, sweetheart. Don't be asking for no exact amount. Just ask for what can anybody spare some change, whatever. And then you can accumulate $5, but don't just ask flat out for a $5 bill. So she's like, oh, does anybody have $5 for me? I'm looking for a plate, whatever the case may be. And I'm thinking, okay, I know I got some change on me, some spare change. But of course, I try to keep a little bit in there in case I have an emergency. Right. My phone dies, I need to catch an Uber, something, or a cab or something. I got some change. I'm not stranded. I'm not, So I say to her, I'm walking up and I'm going to my wallet as I'm walking up. And I say, no, I don't have a $5 for you, but I do have $1 for you. Mm-hmm. And he gonna roll his eyes as he's taking it out of my hand.
Give me my $1 back.
Well, I was feeling like that, but I said, God don't like ugly. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, so I'm not going to snatch it back. But he takes the $1, he rolls his eyes, takes the $1, and then he looks away, and I'm standing, I said, thank you might be in order, boo. Because my thing, and I told him, I'm like, you, and then he was like, oh, I'm sorry, thank you. But now, why did I put a bad taste in my mouth? Is because I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, and I would do it again. But the problem comes, with me, it's about humility. Right. You are asking people who don't know you to, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you do, I don't know how you ended up in this position, but I see you are in need, so I'm willing to help you. But for you to feel like I owe you something and to take my money,
a sense of entitlement.
And you use the exact word that I use, entitlement. Who do you think you are? I don't know you. Your mother owes you something, maybe. I don't owe you nothing.
Well, your mother don't
owe you nothing, right?
You're a grown man.
And you're right. But I'm just saying, she birthed you is my point. Like, if anything, check in with her and see if she can help you out is my point. But what I'm saying is, when you are asking strangers for help, and my thing is, I don't want nothing from you, but it's a common courtesy to just thank a stranger is helping you. You could at least just say thank you. And if it was the way he rolled his eyes, he gonna look away, go take my money, and I'm standing. I'm like, girl, you can at least say thank you. Whatever.
I say, give me my $1 back, and then I would say, when somebody gives you money that they don't have to give you, you need to
thank you.
You need to be appreciative.
It was just the fact that I wish you could have seen how he did it, because you didn't beg me for the money, and I wasn't gonna make you beg. I would never make a person beg for my help. But I saw you were openly saying, "Can I get $5 for a plate? Can I get $5 for a plate?" So
$5.
What I should have did was went up in there into that Dollar Tree bag for this haul that I did and gave him some Vienna sausages, because you want a plate, then that's what I should have gave you. But at the same time, my thing was, I'll give you $1, so that way when you get the $5, you can get the plate you want, not me just giving you something just to give it to you. But the point, it was just the part that he was so like, he wasn't graceful about it. And if it had been me, right away, first of all, my supporters who support me on this platform, every opportunity I get, I thank them for their support, because it's a choice you're making to support me. You want to uplift me, you want to see me win, so I thank them for that, because that's a choice that they have made. So who do you? It's just I couldn't get beyond the whole idea that he took for him to roll his eyes.
Took us and rolled his eyes.
He was like,
"Is that all?"
Yeah, because that's how he did it. Like if you were him, if you were me, and I'm him, it was like that's how he did it. That's literally how he.
And I was like, "Give me my $1 back."
I felt that in my spirit, but I said no, I'm not gonna do that. But I will. But I am gonna.
Because here's the thing, I'm very charitable, but
not when you gotta be when you be ugly about it.
But when you act like that, oh no. Mm-mm.
Now maybe had he not said thank you, I don't know how I would have reacted. But I mean, because now it's over. But I mean, in the moment, I felt like it was the right thing to do to give him the money. But it was just it really put me off when he decided that he was going to roll his eyes, take the money, not say thank you, girl, bye. Anyway,
but ultimately, the thing is, you're responsible for your own actions.
That's true, and that's what I was trying to tell my partner. I was like, you know what it is?
You're responsible for it.
Because he was like, that's the reason why I walked straight past him. Because I wasn't gonna give him nothing. Because he had an attitude, and I saw it right from the beginning. I said, you know, for me, because then we kind of went into like drug addicts and stuff. And here was my point: when I give to a homeless person or a person in need, and they're on the street, I have two ways of looking at it. Number one, it's about my intention. My intention is if you claim you need money for food, and I give you my money, then if you turn around and get drugs, that's not my fault. That's what you did.
That's right.
That's what you did.
That's right. Now,
so that's number one. But then number two, it's like at the same time, I'll be thinking it's a cold world out there for people who don't have support. I have a mother.
By the grace of God.
And by the grace of God.
You just never know.
You never know.
Where you will be. And you want people to be kind to you. I remember that time when what happened with my car, the battery died, and I had my jumping cables, and I needed someone to give me a jump. And, you know, I was at the Taco Bell, and I had went to one person, and they was like rolling up their window like, oh, who are you? You know. But then ultimately, I was able to find someone who, you know,
was kind enough to say.
Kind enough to say. Sometimes you have to take a chance on each other.
Yeah.
You know? I know sometimes, you know, the world that we live in can be dangerous.
Yeah, but no, and use discretion. But I agree with that point because my thing is this. Here's my thing. I give the money to the homeless or whomever. And now, when it comes to like a legitimate charity, I do my research because, like Susan G. Komen, I'm not donating to you because first of all, you know that woman Karen Handel who was running recently. Her and John. Well, you don't watch TV like that, but she was like the CEO for Susan G. Komen. That's the breast cancer organization, the real big one. During that month, that's like the big one. They take so much of the money and pocket the money. This scallywag. Because that's what she is to me. I don't see how any person in their right mind could vote for her. Because she's gross, she's vile, and I don't see how anybody could vote for her. For her to be a woman who's a CEO of a breast cancer organization, and yet she cut funding for early breast cancer screenings.
Oh, that's crazy.
For Planned Parenthood, she cut funding for that.
That's crazy.
For you to sit there and do that, and you never came out, because that would be slander if it was a lie. You could sue for that. That's a character assassination in my eyes. Because that totally put me off to her. How are you going to be a CEO for a breast cancer charity, but you aren't going to let people who can't afford...
So when you say cut funding...
She cut funding. They
So with her organization...
With the Susan G. Komen, while she was there...
What they do is they make a budget.
Well, here's the thing. It's a charity. People donate to the cause.
Right.
Now, with that, you put it towards research. You put it towards screenings. You put it regarding breast cancer. Okay. So when she was there, why would it? What I need her to say one reason how it made sense in her mind that okay, so we work for a breast cancer organization, but we're going to cut funding for the women who can't afford to go to the doctor and do it the way maybe the majority of women do, who go to Planned Parenthood to do the early detection breast cancer screening.
And really, that's where it's going to be the most beneficial, because if you catch it early on, then they don't get to the later stages. And breast cancer is one of the most treatable cancers if you catch it early. And so early detection is the key.
So I just found her to be very gross and very vile. And how can any person vote for a person like that who is so cold-hearted? Because you're only hurting the people who are suffering the most.
Right, who's supposed to be benefiting.
So I don't even know how I got on her, but all I'm saying is you for a real charity, I do my research. Right. Now, when it comes to a homeless person or someone,
that's how you got on it, because you were talking about.
Oh, that would okay, yeah, and right. So that's why I would never donate to an organization like that. Any person that could co-sign that and that could be a part of an organization that would cut breast cancer screenings, and it's a breast cancer organization or charity, is backwards to me, and you will never get a dime of my money. Now, a homeless person who I don't know, I'm not doing all that research. If you say that you're here for the food, then I will get you the food. Right. One time I was downtown and this homeless guy, I was just venting about something, and he was giving me some good advice.
Okay.
So then he was like, at the end, he was like, I'm hungry. Would it be okay? Or do you think you could get me a plate of food? Mm-hmm. I said, I can get you a plate of food. I said, what do you want? He was like, QT. Would you mind walking to the QT with me and I can get some nachos? And I did that though, but then he got a little greedy, because then he got the nachos. Was like, oh, can I also throw a beer on top of that? See, you can't do nothing nice, but I did.
That reminds me of a family. We would buy the Checkers, and then they had like over there by where we live at. Is
this in Georgia or in Arizona?
No, this is in Georgia.
Oh, this is in Georgia. Okay, I don't know who this is. Okay,
right. Yeah. So I mean, it was the children. Mm-hmm. The children. Can you get us something to eat? I said, yeah, I could. We can go over to Checkers. Oh, well, can you take us to? I think they wanted to go to KFC. Mm-hmm. Can we go to KFC? No, I don't have KFC money, but I can take you to Checkers. So we get to Checkers, and they try to get the big meal deal. I was like, that 2 for $3.
Oh, my girl. See how they do? You try to do something nice, and then they try to you give them an inch to take a mile. So that's the thing about it. You have
to be careful.
With him, I mean, he did give me some good advice, so I was willing to let him have the beer too. Plus, my thing is, when you homeless, it's like, girl, you on the street. I mean, realistically speaking, I'm not going to be judged.
That beer is something to give you a little.
I mean, because here's the reality. The reality is, by the grace of the universe, I have a bed to lay down in. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be like on my high horse like, oh, you should be getting a job. You don't drink beer. Because just think, if you were on the street, maybe you would be drinking beer too. Mm-hmm. Like if you literally had to lay on the concrete at night, on a cardboard, would you be wanting someone to tell you not to smoke a cigarette or not to drink? Like, so I try not to be too morally
be moralizing.
Yeah, like I don't want to be like too much like on my high horse. So when I do it, my intention is, you say you want food, get food. If you do something different with it, that's on you. But for him he was just doing too much. But the whole point in the nutshell is this: we're about to make this thing happen. You're gonna be taken care of. For the girls that on my platform where I can put them in where it makes sense, I would like to integrate, put them into it where it makes sense to put. Because I don't want to just be crazy like MC Hammer, where it's like, okay, now you famous and now you got 53 people around getting checks, doing what? Nothing. So I ain't gonna be stupid about it. I'm gonna be smart. But what I'm saying is, I want the people who help me, I want to help them, and I want to give back in that way, and I want to give back and into the community, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But this is about to happen.
I know it.
I know you're ready. I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. I mean, I it's like probably like pregnancy. When you probably for the first time are pregnant, before you were pregnant, you know what being pregnant is, yes. And you can imagine what it might be. But at the time you get pregnant, it's probably a little bit different. You probably are learning, experiencing different things that even though you knew about it before, you probably didn't know about. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like, I have an idea.
You get an opportunity to really go through that process and know what it feels like.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. It's like in my mind, I feel like, okay, I think I know what being famous is going to be like. But then what you think it is versus now you're here and what it's actually going to be is two different things. So I'm just, trying to wrap my mind around it. And these next, I would say 2 to 4 months are going to be crucial, because I'm telling you, every month I want to do a photo shoot high end, and I really want people to see me how I'm in the direction that I'm going, where I'm headed. And this music, you saw the shoes. Don't tell them, because it's a secret to them. You saw them shoes. Are they high? Are they tall?
Absolutely.
Are they not? Like, especially the one.
They are beautiful.
They're beautiful. And you just wait.
So you just
I'm trying not to give too many details. You know me, I'm a professional. So for me, before I even hit it in publicly, I be walking around this house, making sure I'm on point, because I almost broke my ankle the first time. Because I'm up here dancing, thinking I'm like, oh, okay, it's like riding a bike.
Right.
Turn around.
Hadn't done it in a minute.
Turn around, flew across the wall. I'm like, ooh, I almost broke my ankle. I'm like, then it would have been months before I could do the music video. Right. So I do need to be careful. Right. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm a professional. Like, this is what I do. Yeah. And now it's time for me to rise up. Like, the time is now. I'm 28 years old. I've learned so much. And it's so good. That's crazy, right?
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy, right?
28 years old.
28 years old.
And you are my baby.
I'm the baby. That's right. But you know what, mommy? But you know what? We're forever young. Like, time is, and we'll talk about that on another day when you come. Let's talk, maybe when we ride bikes, we'll talk about maybe we'll have like a picnic. We can make a thing out of it. Because, you know, they got a little Subway right up there, too. So maybe we can ride bikes. Then we can eat. We'll figure it out. Let's see how we want to do it. But my point is, time is so... it's like I've been having so many revelations about life and what that means. And let me just tell you this before we... Here we go again. You know, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to talk about this on another day. Because it's like, when it comes to my mom and I... Now y'all see where I get it. Well, okay, we're about to wrap up. 30 minutes later. Okay, let's get ready to wrap up an hour later. Because we can, but that's when but see, that's time with them too. When the conversation is good, it goes from one thing to the next thing. And you know, it has been, last time I saw you was...
It was when we went to
the museum, the High Museum.
Was that because...
Was that the last time?
No, we went to...
the Renaissance. Right. The Renaissance was the last thing we did. Okay, that's true. So the Renaissance, but it's always a pleasure. It's always an honor when my mom can roll through and we can chit chat, whatever the case may be, because... I mean, I'll tell you everything. You know everything about me. And so it's like, and I know I'm going to give her an honest opinion so she can come to me, because I'm going to give her an honest opinion. And I know she's going to give me an honest opinion.
Even when I don't like it.
Right. But I try to say it with love. I'm not going to just, because that's my mother, I'm not going to come at her sideways like, No. But when she comes to me with something, I'm going to tell her my honest opinion on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell her what I think about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that's what I appreciate, and that's what I know when we go where we're going. Mm-hmm. I know that I have someone that I know I have these people, I trust them too, because like, obviously it's a different relationship, right. But I'm just saying I trust them. Like, they tell me the truth, and I know they want to see me win. Like, they really believe in me. And so it's like I have the responsibility of making sure that I deliver for my tribe. Right. Like, these people are believing in me. They're backing me. So it's just like if you were a politician. Okay, they ain't giving you this money for... No, not in that way. Not in that way. Okay. But I'm just saying that the people, when for instance, Bernie Sanders, that's why people are so mad with him, because they donated. They believed in what you had to say. And for you not to stand up and fight for them and bring it home...
At least make the effort.
Make the effort. No matter, and that's what I'm saying. Like, let the chips fall where they may, but at least fight. You didn't fight. And so what I'm saying is, I'm going to fight for them. Right. And I'm going to bring this home I'm doing it for me too, but I'm doing it. I can't wait for that moment where I want to see you. Like, I want to see you see me on that level. Because you've been waiting for it. I remember when she first came back from Saudi Arabia, from Hajj, and we were in the car, and I was telling you the thing with MTV, what was going on, and something else I was working on. And while we was driving, she started crying. But I know why you did that, though. I know why. And it was because you were so happy for me, because you saw the struggle. You were there every step of the way with the independent record labels. See, that's the thing people don't know. Oh, yeah. All of that. Yeah. All of that. Like, my mother has been there for all the stages. See, people don't realize that. Like, I think some people think I came on YouTube and then I started. I was hustling, and the auditions, the whiz, the this, the that, little showcases, talent shows, whatever. I've always been hustling in that way.
What was that? Star Search? No, not Star Search, but
Well, I need more details. It's so much.
The show where you were trying to get on. It's like Star Search. But
Search. What, Apollo?
No. Actually, it's still on TV.
It's still on TV. It was a show that I was on or trying to be on.
You were trying to get on.
Oh, American Idol.
Oh, yeah, American Idol.
American Idol. And you know what? I didn't even really want to be on that show.
Which was, I knew it was. To me, that was a bust, because, to me, I know it was really fake.
Yeah, and truthfully, that was the year Carrie Underwood won. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was at the audition, people who worked I overheard people saying, it was like some kind of way it got through the grapevine that year they wanted a country singer. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, Carrie Underwood, the country singer, wins. Right. So that solidified what I already knew. But the point is, for me, it was a train of thought that I was going. I totally lost my train of thought. What was I just saying? I was just trying to make a point, and we were talking.
That I've seen you from the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right. So with my mother, she has seen all stages, and she both independent record labels. And I remember when the first independent record label, when I dropped out to go to Job Corps, because my mother, her being an educator, her thing was you at least need your diploma.
Right.
If you don't go to college, okay, but you just please get that. So when she told me that, and she made me believe, like, what's for you is for you. If they don't want to work with you, if you leave to get your education, if they don't like you because of that, then maybe you just don't need to be affiliated. Maybe you just don't need to be affiliated with them. Remember how he acted up? Oh, well, if you go, you're gone. This, that, and the forfeit's over with. Okay, well, then I guess it's over.
Right.
And then he was calling to get back in contact with me because I was the star of that group. Because remember you said he was like calling and he had called, but then he was in jail with some weird stuff going on with that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
he wasn't legit anyway.
Yeah, he was dirty, and I feel like he was kind of like low key a pedophile, but that's a whole nother conversation. But the whole thing is, and then that second label, when we were dealing with them, and then. But the contract was a mess, and then you sent it to the attorney, and then he was, we can't negotiate on any. I mean, so it's just a lot we've been through.
Everything was in their favor, and everything was set up so that they would win.
Yeah, and it was, and see, but my mom, listen, my mom is so sweet. I'm telling you, like, I feel like they would all love you if they ever met you in person, because she's so organic and so genuine with you. And my mother, if she would. In my opinion, I feel like I've seen you do it. You would give the shirt off your back to help someone. Where you can help a person, you will. Okay? And so, but, let's not be confused. She's all about the business. Okay, let's talk business, girl. I'm nice about it. Her tone will be nice, and she's very diplomatic. Okay, but, so I'm looking at this contract. We sent it to the attorney. Where's the part where you talk about what you're going to do for him? Right. And she was very nice about it. Oh, that's the baby upstairs. I'm like, you heard that? I'm like, the heck? But she was very much so about the money. And so,
and what is it that you're getting? It's like we saw everything they're getting.
Yeah, and the contract was outlined very clearly
in their benefit. And actually, whoever makes the contract, they pretty much typically going to make it to their favor. Mm-hmm. And everything about what you had to do and how many, practices and, you had to be here and there. But what are you doing for men?
Yeah.
I mean, what is...
Am I going to get... Okay, so am I guaranteed an album for release? Like, am I going to be doing... Like, what am I doing? Like, it was very little about what I was getting. It was all about what my obligations to them, right, but not their obligations to me. But my point was just to say... She has seen the whole thing. So when this happens, it's like in my mind, I'm like, I need you, like, universe, I need you to see the finished product. I need you to see me win because you were there from the beginning. I hate that Tamaya didn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I kept telling her, I'm going to get you a yard. You can da-da-da-da. So I tried to, like, do that by way of them and for Anais and stuff like that. It's not the same, but it's... And you know what's weird? Let me tell you this real quick. And I promise this is the last thing we're going to wrap up. Mm-hmm. The other day I was talking about Tamaya to my partner. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? I had an epiphany.
What?
That when people pass... So think of it like this. Mm-hmm. This lamp right here, right? Mm-hmm. If I were to unplug this lamp, the light would go off, right? Mm-hmm. Calm down, Felice. You know better. The light would go off, right?
Right.
Think of this lamp as your physical body. Mm-hmm. So when I unplug it, you die.
Right.
Okay. But what was making that light turn on did not die.
Right, the electricity.
It just transitions to another outlet. It just moves. It just travels. It never really dies. It just moves. The only thing that changes is the fixture. Mm-hmm. When a person passes on, so like for instance, I'll be working and then randomly I'll start thinking, oh, Tamaya, I really wish she had. It comes in waves. I'll be okay, then I'll be thinking, I hate that she'd never, but what I realized is when you have those moments, that's their presence. Mm-hmm. That's them. Like it's in a different way, but that's them. When when they randomly pop in your head, that's them making their presence known. Like, I'm still around. I'm still here. Now, it may make you sad because you're feeling them, but you're not really able to touch them. So that's where the sadness comes from. So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm just sad because I miss her. But the reality is, no, she's touching you. And you're sad because you can't touch her back.
You're missing her physicalness.
You're missing her physicalness. You're missing the physical aspect of her being. And so what's the sadness is coming in because you're feeling her, but in a different way. And so that, to me, is like, that almost gave me a sense of solace. Like, she's still here.
you had the peace.
The peace. Yeah, brought me, because it was like, she's still here. It's just different. It's just different.
Right.
Like, it'll be moments where I'm like, oh, Tamaya would not have done that. Like, she'll pop in my head, and it's because she's still around. Like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't have carried like how these girls be carrying. Because Tamaya was a totally different breed. She's old school. Like, Tamaya was old school. They're like totally something different. And I love them. They bring something different. But Anais is more like her, like Tamaya.
Right.
You know, she's more that way. So I still feel like I also have a connection to Tamaya through Anais, since I go to my Instagram and I watch those videos of her as a little kitten.
Yeah.
And Tamaya, just watching her eat out her, like, she was raised, she came under the tutelage of Tamaya.
Yes.
And you used to be like, they play so rough.
Right.
That's why she plays with them rough like that.
Yeah, I used to be scared because she's so little. She was so little.
So little, and they'll be so rough. But see, with them, when she plays, she fights them like a dog. Her, Anais. So she'll be playing with Felice. The way that dogs go for the neck, she goes for the neck. She's doing all the things that they would do. So I'm like, Tamaya raised her right, and that's still a part of her, you know. But anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up. Okay. I want to thank you, Mommy, for stopping in. This was supposed to be a brief stop. She's supposed to just be here for 10 minutes. But I said, right? But at the same time, I figured she's here. I don't want to. She's here. Let's get her on. Because like I said, it's been a minute since y'all have seen her. And for me, it's also good for me because I went back and watched our video that we did all those years ago. That is gonna.
Which one is that?
Remember that video we did? I was still in Job Corps.
Oh, okay.
I came home for like the summer break or whatever it was, and we had did a video where you were interviewing me. I had the shades on. It was just a mess.
Okay, I think I remember that when I was talking about watch this young man.
Yes, you did. Okay. And I watched that, and it for me, it's like that's why I need you to see it because it's like you. Before there was a reason to believe, you believed. And so it's like, in moments like this, I want for them, I also want it for me. Because it reminds me that you're there every step of the way. And you're there, and you've been watching me grow. You've been pouring into me. You've been watering the plant as well. So now when you see all this stuff is happening, last thing, I swear. I promise, it's the last thing. Because I'm going to forget this. and I know I'm going to forget it. One thing that happened the other day, my partner was doing laundry, and when he was doing the laundry, this shirt that I'm wearing, I forgot I had this shirt. This is just a Mickey Mouse shirt, just a plain old Mickey Mouse shirt. I saw this shirt, and I said, I forgot I had this shirt. When I was living at home with you, I had maybe 5 shirts that I wore regularly. I knew what my inventory was. There was never a time where I forgot what I had in my inventory.
Because you didn't have that much.
Because I didn't have that much. To be in a position now where when we do laundry and as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, that's all these different shirts that I totally forgot. And the reason why it didn't even occur to me is because I still have so many more that I can wear. It was a blessing. And it humbled me because I'm like, that shows me how far I've come. I went from having the 5 shirts that I would just wear on a regular basis and mix and matching it to see if I can, how I can make it look different. The same plain shirt to now it's like by the grace of the universe I can donate clothes. I told my partner, I said, every time I buy a new shirt I want to get rid of an old one. That's a
good way to be.
Yeah, unless there's like some type of sentimental, like something you gave me, like for instance the Jimi Hendrix shirt that you gave me for my birthday, the red one. I'm not giving that shirt away. I don't care if I never wear it again. I'm not. You gave it to me, so I'm going to keep the shirt. I have a shirt from my dad that he gave me when he was in college. I'm not gonna give that away.
So that's sentimental value.
Sentimental value. So in that particular scenario, I keep it. But my point is, I'm so grateful because that's a small thing, but that's something that I was like, wait, the fact that I lose track of the things that I have tells me that I have a lot now. Right. So I'm appreciative.
What a blessing and a mercy.
What a blessing and a mercy. Like, and you said, it was building character, and I guess now that I'm starting to gain traction, I guess this is the character what you were saying, because it could have went the other way, like, oh, now, look at me now, it could have went the other way, but instead it's for me, it's thank you. Finally, like, my time has come. Things are happening. Thank you. So thank you for instilling that in me. Thank you for being patient with me, because I'm not the easiest person. Realistically speaking, like, as an artist, we're weird. We have our weird process.
You're a perfectionist.
You know what I mean? And my mom, and it's like she gave me the space that I needed to create and to use her home as my base and to create my videos so that I could end up in your household, in your living room, and become a part of your family as a result of you allowing me to express myself the way I needed to, and never trying to stifle me like, don't record your videos. I mean, even my music. I mean, there would be nights where I would be singing and recording music all hours of the night.
Do you still have any of those old songs? You know,
all of them. And with this computer, all the songs are still, not all of them, but a good portion of them are still there. Yeah. But my point is, my mother, after the 2 record labels, she said, no more. You had gone to a seminar, and some kind of way you had walked out. But see how the universe works? She had walked out, and maybe they were doing another thing, and then they were selling like musical equipment. Right. And my mother saw that and invested in that equipment for me. And her thing to me was, now you don't have to ask anybody to do anything for you. Make your own music. Create your own. And it took me a while to actually get started with that equipment. But once I started, it kept going. Right. And then
you learned a lot.
I learned a lot because it was self-taught. But here's the thing. This is what y'all don't know. Where I would shoot the videos, where I would record my music is literally right next door to my mother's bedroom.
With the girls.
With the girls. That's right. Her office where I was recording, next room over is her bedroom. No hallway in between to break up what I'm doing from her. Where I was working, my mother's bedroom. My mom would allow me to work all hours of the night, singing, hooping, and hollering, all out 3 a.m. She's in bed sleeping. And I think you just trained yourself to maybe get used to me doing that. But all hours of the night, she would allow me to create. So what you see is as a result of her allowing me to just be who I am and encouraging and being a supporter and fostering my creativity. Like, do your own, be your own boss. So I thank you for that, because that is something that who knows where this will be if you had never done that. Who knows? I don't know. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show. We're going to wrap up for this time. I love you. They love you. It's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to have you on the show. And y'all already know the drill. Via Seblan, Jaliti Galisam, the best will always come through. And she has arrived. And as always, until next time, baby, that's all there is. Bye. Now you can sign it. There you go. All right. Thank you so much, Mom.